Sherry here, and
Julie.
and Dakota. You'll see him. There, you see his nose? Come here, Dakota. This is episode 7 of The Healing Barn, and we wanted to get you up to date a little bit. This is June 28th, 2012, and I wanted to give you a little bit of backstory, and then Julie and I and Dakota are going to talk a little bit about where we're going with this. To wrap up the history of where this came from in a nutshell, I was in an accident in 2008 and I broke 7 bones and punctured my lung because I was thrown from a horse, and I was not expected to live. Well, here I am, so I lived. And, you know, at the same time, I was taking an advanced program in educational administration, and guess who was in my program with me?
Me.
And we kind of knew each other from work, but not...
Didn't know each other that well.
Right. We were doing different study projects and research projects, and we ended up together, right?
Yes, we did. We kind of gravitated toward each other.
We did, and we didn't even know why.
Mm-hmm.
And we did all this coursework together, and we ended up getting a Master's of Science in Educational Administration together. And after we graduated, I think it was on graduation day that you said, "Did you know I have horses?" And I'm like, no. In that near-death experience, I became really fearless with my life, except for one thing. When I got around horses, I would just start physically shaking. I think it's maybe because of the cellular memory or something.
Sure.
Because I've loved horses and I've worked with horses all my life. Julie took me out to her barn where her horses were, and I expected it to be a really emotional, and it was like coming home. So then we started working with kids.
We did, because I'd always had a dream to work with kids and horses.
Mm-hmm. In a healing way.
In a healing way.
Tell a little bit what you do for your job and some of the interventions that you've been involved with professionally with kids.
I primarily have worked with children on emotional and behavioral basis, so kids that have really had a lot of trauma emotionally, whether due to numerous events in their lives or experiences. And so as a teacher, I've been a social emotional disorder teacher for my entire career. 17 years as at the high school level. I worked with middle school kids. During those times, sometimes I would take kids out to the horses. And so it was very obvious the effect the horses had. I started working with a group for a while who did do therapeutic riding, which is, a whole nother vein. And I thought, wow, I really liked this. It was with physically handicapped, but I really still had the draw to work with kids with emotional issues. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of how I always kind of had that dream. You and I did these projects, and so it fed that desire.
So, of course, being the researchers that Julie and I are, and being in an academic educational realm, we were hesitant at first, and we were experimenting a little bit. But in the meantime, we were doing our own kind of literature review. We were researching what other people had been doing. We read a lot of Linda Kohanov. We read a lot about the Mozart effect and therapeutic dogs and all these different ways, the different interventions to deal with Asperger's, executive functioning, social and emotional learning problems. And my job in the public schools is student support. I do social and emotional learning with kids. All right, so you wanted to talk a little bit about what you do now.
Yes, what I do now is I work as a case manager where we provide support for teachers, parents, and students. So my role now is to help with the evaluation process, students who have individualized education plans, making sure their plans are in place. So it's a variety. So now, instead of working directly with students, I'm working with
entire families.
With the entire families, with the teachers, for all the providers that are working with students and providing services. And I think that's given me a nice, broad perspective of kind of, I've not only worked with children hands-on for over 18 years, but then, I have the last 8 years working with the entire kind of the community with them.
Right. And like RAP plans, community resources, counselors, psychologists, psychiatrists, psychotherapists, pediatricians,
Yes.
social workers, social service agencies, the whole deal.
Yes, very similar, in a
The
similar
whole
vein to
shebang.
what you're doing. Yeah, yes.
Well, we're both members of in our schools, and you have several schools of something called a problem-solving team. So
Right.
that's where we get everybody together and we start working on how to solve problems. But the cool thing is that our focus with the Healing Barn is not on problems. Our focus is on the positive, on solutions. I have an advanced degree in counseling and psychology, and one of the things that I really love about life coaching and this whole new paradigm is instead of focusing on psychopathology or any kind of pathology, the focus now is on the positive. And I think that's where the horse energy comes in.
Yes, absolutely it does. Absolutely.
So we end up taking kids out to the Healing Barn, and usually it's as a reward or as a reinforcement for positive.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we've experienced in the past is the teachers are like, when are you going to take them back out? When are you going to? Because it has this really positive effect on school success, on behavior. It does help these kids function in the real world.
It's a peaceful calming.
Yes, right. Where we would like to go with this is a mixed methods action research project in grounded theory using selective axial and open coding to gather data. Okay, so that's blah, 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 for all the research geeks out there, because I'm kind of a research geek. That's just jargon, meaning we are going to gather some scientific data and evidence based on what's happening, because we think this could be really widespread. This has been used with psychotherapy in Arizona for adults. This has been used with autistic kids and kids with MS and different kinds of physical disabilities. But I have not read of any other barn that has been doing this kind of thing.
No.
So we feel like we owe it to the international conversation to take a grounded and scientific approach to this while reveling in the amazing kind of spirituality of it too.
Mm-hmm. There is. I think if we can, there are several people that we know and work with that believe in this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think by taking that expertise and matching it with the horses,
Mm-hmm.
you can create a whole new intervention for kids.
What I would love to find is someone who can do brain research about
or
this.
Medical community
We don't,
interested.
We don't have the medical piece, but I would love to see what the brain waves are before and after.
Precisely, because I would just be sure you would see a difference.
Mm-hmm. We are just going on faith and what we know to be true and what our professional credentials lead us into.
Right.
So.
And experiences, what we've seen, what
Yeah.
we have been able to see and experience ourselves and others.
This is a very expansive work, so I don't want this to put anyone off or minimize it in any way, but this is very rooted in Franciscan cosmology. So St. Francis of Assisi I feel is very involved in this work. He believed in the brotherhood of all beings, and brother sun, sister moon. So I don't know what I want to say about that. Maybe we'll add more later about the Franciscanness of it all. But
Animals bring a unique spiritual energy,
mm-hmm.
and I think sometimes we don't give them the credit, and it is based, in a history and in a religion.
Yeah.
In a spiritual basis. And so I think it's something that as we evolve, I think when we link in with that, that's when we start to see a lot of positive growth in ourselves and in others, if we can link everything that has been provided to us on this earth.
Well put, Podna.
A moment of clarity! A moment of clarity!
Brief moments of clarity. That's what we're all
They
about.
hit me once in a while. Once in a blue moon, I get a couple of
Okay, we are going to give you a break, and we are going to take the ride out there. It's like 101 degrees, right? So we need an intervention.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And you can journey with us. Stay tuned.
Hey, I know it's probably windy. It's Sherry out at the Healing Barn. It is hotter than blazes out here.
Okay, so this is Cody. Cody, this is YouTube.
Relaxing. Times like when I'm kind of stressed out, I want to come out here. It's just kind of where we come to.
There's nothing like good poop scooping
It's
to
Buddhist-
clear a person's mind.
It is Buddhist therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Eat, pray, love. She had it right.
Before enlightenment, scoop poop. After enlightenment, scoop poop.
That's right. Just a good place to get good mental clarity and relax and regroup, re-energize, let go of worries, and I think horses are a form of meditation.
I think so too. Yeah, because you have to be very mindful when you're around them,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to give a big shout out to Maya from Worldwide Good News, and she's my friend. I want to give a shout out to Clarissa. Thank you for my shirt. See, I got it on. Wings Network. I got my wings. So I'm loving it. And I wanted to talk about Alita McClelland, okay? I wanted to give her a shout out. She is on 1-2 Radio, changing the way we listen to the world. And she has been talking about this huge shift that we're experiencing. I would encourage you to listen to her program on Mondays. I think she has other programs, so check her site out.
I totally admire her work. I feel like there's some kind of an energy bond between us.
We're using a lot of her work as our
Yes.
literature review.
Right. I think
this
she
project.
solidified in me what I sensed. You know, I couldn't put it to words, but she puts it to words. That's been a key revelation for me. Kind of know this is
And then to look at her picture with Rasa and your picture with,
parallel.
yeah, parallel universe. kind of
Yeah, like twin kind of.
thing. Twin souls.
Yeah, twin. That's a good word to put it. Twin souls. Yes. Our faces are here. Horses. It was a little. It was
Eerie.
Yeah, eerie is a good word. I thought.
Or
really.
mystical. Maybe mystical is a better
Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
And shaman is definitely twin souls with Rasa.
Yes.
So one of our goals is to go to her place.
Yes. And kind of see what she does. I would like to see her in action with the horses. You know, you always learn something.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to do that.
And if any of our viewers are interested in that work, it's Epona Center, right?
Kona Institute,
Epona Institute in Arizona.
Arizona.
For anybody who is interested, I hope that if you watch the video, you watch it on YouTube and you press like so that we can get some sponsorships and maybe some advertisements. And thanks for watching.